we were discussing earlier about how, as men, we have failed society. Like I think much of the situations that we hear, it comes to us as men. We have used our strength, instead of empowering and strengthening the people around us and protecting them, we have gotten to harm them. Now, how do we address men on this particular issue? But we also go to women, because it's not just men that. How do we tackle this thing? Because I saw some images also, like, a grown man, 30-something, a child, a baby. Like, I saw she was in a dress with blood, and like, how do you even have the strength to do that in the first place, where you have no remorse?
That's really sensitive. It's really sensitive. I feel like I feel like certain things are passed down. Like I think most of the things that we've talked about, we're saying there are certain things that you see and begin to define as normal. Like certain people that begin to harass or sexually harass certain people because they were also harassed. Yeah, so sometimes there's that kind of a pattern. Yeah, there's that kind of a pattern. And many times it's simply because they're also quiet about certain things, Like, for example, if I'm a man and then I was harassed by my father and all those things, if I speak out, I'm going to put his reputation, his reputation is going to be hanging in the balance and all these other things. So in the best way to deal with such is, I feel this is one of the platforms. Firstly, it's just really about creating an awareness, because we're living in a society where we are silent about certain things that really matter. Yes. So when someone comes out, they begin to look like they're the odd one out. But it's really important that we create an awareness about this very thing. Talk about these things in schools, let people be aware, and even in families. Like have a sit down, talk to because there's a certain woman in Zambia, Honorable Bumba Malambo. Yeah, she deals with such cases and all these things. And when you read the stories there, sometimes you can even drop it. You're like, why would someone do such a thing? But it's really because the same way that we go on TV and say, no, there's a company, there are certain things that would be defined as, okay, this is normal. Like there's a company that sells this and that, this advert. Let this be a normal. Yeah, let people talk about this on radios, on TV, on that, and that's what people can be aware. Yeah.
Then a man comes to say, no, the reason why I raped her is, did you see how she was dressed? Let's discuss this thing about, is it the woman's fault because of the way she's dressed that the man should rape?
So you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
All I want to say is that's really, no, it's never a woman's fault. It's never a woman's fault.
That's an excuse.
Yeah, for you to rape or harm someone. It's like walking somebody, then you kill them, and you ask, why did you kill that person? They just looked killable. Does that make sense?
And we're living in 2021. Men are so exposed to so many things that a short skirt would really confuse you that much, to even overpower you, to fail to think, or to even think about turning the other side. I think that's an excuse.
Because it feels like
men have seen it all. You have seen it all. So there's no excuse that you can give to say she was in a short dress, in a short or something.
Because okay, it feels like for her to dress like that, it means that she wants that.
No, like maybe I think what Drew is trying to say is, like, maybe for example in a setup where you're married to a certain lady and then she's got a sister, right? And then now maybe when your wife is out on trips, the sister just wants to dress anyhow, and maybe you've tried to address it with your wife, but I feel still, even if I were to bring up this scenario, there's never an excuse enough to why someone should rape another person.
Yeah.
I feel
there's never an excuse enough.
I feel like to this topic specifically, there's nothing as an excuse. But however, I feel like both parties are running away from accountability. Let me start with the men. For you to see someone who chooses to dress however they dress, and you think that the dress is maybe a signal to you to do something that is not consensual, you are sick.
Yeah.
For you lady to dress in any inappropriate manner and you feel it's you expressing yourself without being accountable, you have a problem. And why I'm saying this is because for you to dress provocatively, you know, you have a lot of things to put in your mind. There are people who are not normal out there.
Yeah.
There are good people, guys that will just not even look at you, not even see you. There are people who will look at you and say, oh, she's got nice, you know what I mean, and forget about it. There are people who will just go about their business. And there are people who are mentally not okay that might start seeing you as a chicken to be pursued when your intention was not about that. But however, I feel like the truth to every matter is we have to be accountable. Both men and both women, you have to be accountable of the way you present yourself in society or in public, because this might trigger people's minds to do harmful things towards you. So you can't just say, feel free to dress provocatively and you say, no one should touch me. No, you have to be responsible for how you dress, because it's you dressing that way that will trigger someone's unstable mindset to harm you. It's like dressing like a doctor and you expect someone fainting and they don't call you. No, you dress like a doctor. You're going. If you meet someone who is in need of a doctor or someone who perceives you as a doctor, you're going to be called. So you have women should. You have to be responsible and accountable for the way you present yourselves in society. Men will have to be responsible for the way we act in society.
Yeah.
So I feel like
But
that's
that brings also a question.
Yes.
How far is too far?
how far is.
Let me just say, just a tight dress can make some men just go out. Just a tight, even just a jean or just anything that if you're not dressed, if you're not dressed or covered, that's just your fingers and the man is gone. So how far?
It's
is
not.
too far?
It's not about. It's not about. I feel like there is no line. There is no specific distance or extent to which one can be dressed. The only way you can, I would say it is, make sure you are dressed appropriately, because you can still be in a hijab or whatever it is, covered head to toe, but just because you're somebody who's voluptuous, a man can start seeing the chicken inside the dress. You get, you get. So it's not about how you dress or how far you go. Just make sure you are appropriately presented in society. If you want to wear tights, cool, but make sure most things are covered. Feel free to wear your things you want to, but make sure you're accountable of how many things you're exposing. That's just the thing. No one is saying, oh, because men are harmful, so I shouldn't dress to how I want to express my body. No, but just make sure you dress appropriately. And if someone sees you fully dressed, even with tights, but you make sure you are covered in certain areas, you're not exposing any things that are provocative. If someone sees that and he thinks that's a signal, well, his mind is. Because out of you definitely meet 100 guys. Not all of those 100 guys are going to start harassing you in any sort of manner. It's only that one idiot. So something is wrong with him.
Because I hear like women they feel empowered by
To express their body.
yeah, like you look at you lift weights, you've been wearing that muscle t-shirt, man. So I hear they also get to feel empowered by. Does it empower you to dress in a particular manner?
I feel like knowing women, even though this question is, sorry before you answer, I feel like knowing women are people who are very proud of what they possess. It's either your boyfriend, your children. That's why they are particularly choosy and picky, because they are proud of what they possess. So when it comes to their physical traits, whether or not she's beautiful, she wants to enhance that beauty. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's a very good thing, because yes, that's the empowerment. And it's to us, even guys, but women are more proud of what they have. So even the offspring, even people, even family, even achievements, even job, even if she's ambitious, it's a way where she has really, brought herself to this part. She's proud of that.
Yeah.
So not to talk of her body, if she's voluptuous, she wants to be proud of that. If she's slim and good looking, she wants to be proud of that, because that's it. So I feel like their nature is to be proud. That's why they're nurturing, because when they care about something, they make it. They want the world to see it. They want people to admire them in a way, shape, or form. So naturally, I feel like they are proud
But
of things they do in natural.
But here's a 4-year-old girl who's decently dressed and all that. It's a 4-year-old girl. 4-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And then why?
Because the idiot is mentally, something is wrong with inside, some sparks. That's what I'm saying. Like, even when women dress provocatively, I'm not saying don't dress. Even when you dress provocatively, not all the men you meet on the way are going to harass you. Some men are just going to look at you and say, okay, cool. Some men will admire you.
Yeah.
Some men will not even look at you. So, but you have that one person or whoever is or wherever that his mind is, boiling up somewhere, and he feels like that's a signal for him to harass you in any sort of way, shape, or form. So not every guy, that shows that what is happening is not normal. For you to say 4-year-old, how can you even be attracted to that in any way? Like, come on, man. So for you to be like, something is wrong with you.
So, okay, maybe we're looking at, don't get me wrong, but we're addressing these men also in a way like they're just monsters.
Yeah.
Well, we've also looked at the fact that they've got a psychological problem. But how do we help these people? Rather than just saying, oh, let's just kill them off or lock them up or whatever. But how do we help people with this? Like maybe someone hasn't even committed, but maybe they have this type of thing. How do we help them?
Such traits are very undercover, if I would say. You would literally be chilling with someone you don't know what they're thinking, or they have this capacity to do such things in them. So, like I think you were saying, it's the root of something. The awareness creates it, because there are people who are very conscious. You can see someone who is maybe that kind of person, but if the awareness is, out there, he might have a session with himself and say, oh, I'm experiencing this, so I feel like this is not good.
Yeah.
So even he might be in that situation where he changes himself and looks for help, or go in search for help. So I feel like the awareness is not only putting it out there, but as Papa Thema was saying, creating a certain community or society of people who won't judge you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make a safe zone to talk about it.
Yes.
So if you're experiencing something
You can
mental
go and,
disorder, you can go meet such people and say, I'm having this, I'm having that. Psychologist, or even, just a safe area where
There
you
should
want
be
to be
help
judged,
available
available for you.
I think, we apart from, we're trying to build more prisons or whatever, but we also need to build more rehabilitation centers and create a safe space for people to be able to come out to say, like, how the Christian environment is like, oh, you can come to Jesus. So if we as a community have that type of attitude where we're saying, if you have a particular issue, come and open up before it's too late. Now we are looking at just men, but what about women sexually harassing men? Has anyone ever heard of this or experienced?
It's reality, it happens. Huh? It's limited, but it happens.
Yeah.
Have you heard of an experience before? Or have you ever experienced being harassed?
I feel like even when it comes to certain compliments, for example,
Certain compliments.
Okay.
no, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Because if I flirt to a certain way to a lady, two things: she either feels great, and that's only if she's attracted to me. But if she's not attracted to me, that's a problem.
If she does what?
If she feels great,
Okay.
if she's attracted to me, there was an example. There are two guys. There is this very handsome, tall, built guy in this office. Every time he comes to the office in the morning, he opens the secretary's door. Hey Jane, you're looking perfect. Your lips are all this, so. She's like, oh, thank you. And there's this bum dude, fat, not taking good care of himself. However, and he comes again. If he says that same thing, it's harassment. Let's switch it the other way. If these two guys are in their office or offices, and there's this lady opens the door, hey Jack, ooh, you rock in that t-shirt, I see your muscles and everything, she'll smile. If she opens the other door to the guy who's not so, but compliments him in such a sexual manner, he's not going to consider it as harassment. But technically it's harassment. So I feel like harassment has to do with the views and perspectives of people.
Yeah.
But to men, it's because of society and standards, it's not so much. Like a woman can compliment you on your sexually, and you just, oh, she's feeling me. Yeah. But if you compliment her sexually and she's not attracted to you, that's a problem. So there's a bias somehow, double standards there.
There's a particular movie I saw, I think a short one. Was it Obsessed, starring Idris Elba, where he was actually harassed by his fellow colleague. Like she used to, like he was at the party.
Exactly.
They were drinking and all that. Then he goes to the bathroom and she follows him there. And he's a married man, so like she comes to him and he's like, no, I don't want this. Like she starts holding him and like, no, I don't want this. Like, and then he pushes her. But if a guy goes to the cops and says, I was harassed by they're just like, come on, man.
So that those are double standards in society, and they exist, and that's reality. So guys are being harassed, but because we love it, it's not harassment.
So now I want to ask, because there are some countries that don't consider that a man can be raped, especially with a certain age.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
I
Can
feel
a
like
man be raped?
rape has to be defined. What is rape? Once you define rape, then that's the definition.
Forcefully
Having
sex
sexual with
with
somebody. So if I'm the guy, I'm like, babe, or whether or not she's not my girlfriend, I'm like, I don't want this. But she lure away into making me have sex with you or that person. That's rape.
That's rape when you start deciding to do it.
No.
I don't.
Okay.
Because we imagine it different. If a woman is being raped, usually she's held. But for a man, you start doing it.
Non-consent is rape.
There's
Is
also women like they drag the
Non-consent.
guy.
Non-consent is rape.
Yeah.
that's true.
Is that it? Forcefully. There's no consent there, right? Non-mutual consent is rape.
But where you start complying.
But there's also where
When
they
you
drag
comply.
the guy.
No,
You
listen.
can drag the guy.
Listen.
Where you begin to
Rape
comply.
is forcefully. Even a lady. If you comply, is that rape? If I approach a lady, let's say maybe she's my girlfriend or we are attracted to each other. Okay, not that. I'm not trying to do the force, but
Yeah.
let's say let's create a
But
scenario.
why
Yeah,
did
they stated
she
that-
comply? Was
That's
she
the thing.
scared? Were you scared of
Yeah,
the
that's the
lady
thing,
being
like,
raped, raping you? And
Was
say, most sometimes some girls will comply
Because of fear, like he's
Yeah,
going
he's
to
gonna
kill
beat
me,
me.
he's going to do something, he might knock me. But
That's
for a
not-
guy, like, what are you scared
she
of?
might not
She
be.
might knock him down. The guys that are weak.
None of guys are strong. She might.
The guys that are weak, and
Wow.
he might say no because it's like for guys it's just whether he likes it or not, it will just happen.
That's the thing, like,
It does happen.
Again, those are double standards. Like,
So, the man is raped.
yes, as long as it's not non-consensual, because he might be afraid.
And he complied.
He
because
complied.
He was scared that she would call her brothers.
Yeah, our brothers and beat him up because he doesn't. And again, he can be scared, so he doesn't get accused
Of what?
of rape.
Yeah.
So he's
Because,
like,
yeah.
okay, let me just give her what she wants.
Yeah, maybe like maybe the Samson story. Like,
That
she just shouts, hey, I'm being raped. So
That
I'm going to scream if you don't.
If you don't do it,
If you don't do
there
it,
are
I'm
people
going to
out
scream.
there who do
Also,
it. The only
Yeah.
thing it won't be in this. I feel like society creates sex imbalance.
Yes, it seems
The
like
old
it's just
women-
guys that.
They hold women in a hierarchy.
Definitely, I'm not saying it.
It's
No,
a,
I'm following you.
it's a double standard. There's always double standards in society. So sex is one of it. Sex is always of a hierarchy to women. Yeah? For me, sex is 50-50. simple. It's either it's consensual together. That's why even when certain topics are being discussed of what do you bring to the table, sex is nothing a woman says I'm bringing to the table, neither a man says. No, sex is actually on the table as well, because it's a 50-50. When they say what do you bring to the table, it's what do you bring to complement each other. So neither should bring sex to complement, because it's also enjoying it. Okay, let me not get deep too much, but you know what I mean? Like it's a component of 50-50.
Yeah,
But because of society and strength and masculinity or femininity, it's seen as the woman is more higher there. So with everything that has to do with disadvantages of sex, she's more on that side. But for me, it's 50-50. Guys, we feel like guys are not harassed because we want it. Guys are always, 100%, that's it. But a guy can genuinely not want to have it. But if you find your way to let him have it, he complies. So that can be considered as non-consensual sex in a kind of way, but he complies. Or he doesn't take it as a big deal as the women would do it, you understand?
Yeah.
But there are places that guys are tied up and raped. That happens, so. But anyway, I feel like it's just a bias in that area.